Every MMA meme explain. Part 2. Fight my boy. At UFC 279, Nate Diaz and Khamzat Chimaev were supposed to fight. However, fans hated this matchup because Khamzat Chimaev was the brutal killer who was dominating everyone, and Nate Diaz was at the end of his career. Nobody wanted to see this fight. However, Khamzat Chimaev missed weight by 7.5 pounds. So Kevin Holland stepped up on short notice to fight him. So Diaz could not fight Khamzat. Before Kevin Holland stepped up, Nate Diaz had someone else in mind for Khamzat to fight.
It's a couple years of more fights.
Khamzat, if you in there, don't be a bitch. My boy's right here, fight him. We're talking my name, and anybody in the higher level, even talking my name, and anybody in there.
Nate's boy did not look very enthusiastic to fight Khamzat at all. Dana White and Joe Rogan are the same person. Dana White and Joe Rogan have been in the fighting business for a long time, and they are close friends. There's been many memes made based off them having similar appearances. One of the funniest clips is when Dana White was getting interviewed, and the interviewer mistaked Dana White for Joe Rogan.
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
Joe Rogan, Dana White. What's Dana White's dream?
Did you just think I was Joe Rogan?
I totally did.
She just called me fucking Joe Rogan. You thought I was fucking Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I thought you were Joe Rogan.
I was bald before Joe was ever bald. Okay?
I know.
Just did a 2-hour fucking podcast. I flew here from Vegas, and she thought she was interviewing Joe Rogan.
Jesus.
Michael Chandler rage bait. At UFC 281, Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler fought, where Dustin won by submission in the third round. After this fight, Dustin expressed his frustrations with Chandler.
I said, this is my house. I said, I respect everything you've done, but this is my house that I built, you know? And then he looks at me, he goes, such a freaking dweeb. He looks at me, right when I say this is my house, he goes, what, Madison Square Garden's your house? Madison Square Garden's your house? He goes, what? Then he points down on the mat, he goes, this logo on the mat, this is your house? And I'm like, I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, all right, bud. Okay, bud.
You know if Poirier calls you a freaking dweeb, he's upset. She asked about me. In an interview between Derek Lewis and Daniel Cormier, Ronda Rousey gets brought up. This piques Derek's interests.
I did an interview with Ronda Rousey the other day, too. Since
she asked about me? No, I'm just saying, off record. Off record.
There's 3 cameras, bro. It's not off record. She didn't ask about you.
She didn't?
Heartbroken.
No, it's cool. It's cool. You know I'm married anyway, so yeah.
Hello, Japan. MMA fighter Dave Gardner decides to greet the crowd during one of his fights at the worst possible time.
Nightmare for these guys fighting him.
Hello, Japan.
Oh! Said something. Oh, he is in trouble.
Oh, you
Going
see?
for the rear naked choke.
Oh, that is. Oh my God, that is so dumb. So dumb.
Gardner.
Why?
Can he hang on?
No, this is over.
Aoki's got him. That's it. Shinya Aoki wins for the 20th time.
A guy to go fishing with. Bryce Mitchell has always been an interesting figure. Bryce Mitchell started a podcast, and on the very first episode, it got off to a crazy start.
Because I honestly think that he was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination. I really do think before he got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with. He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out that were destroying his country and turning them all into gays. They were gaying out the kids. They were queering out the women. They were queering out the dudes. They were, you know what her first surgery ever was? Happened to be in Germany before Hitler took over. You know the books that everybody makes fun of Hitler burning? You know what the books was? Queer books. Hitler burned queer books because Hitler didn't want a bunch of queers destroying his nation. They can't produce children. Was Hitler perfect? No. But he was fighting for his people, okay? And he wanted a pure nation.
Obviously, this clip spread around like crazy, and it got to the point where Dana White had to hold a press conference purely because of what Bryce said.
And I'm sure you guys heard what Bryce Mitchell said. If you haven't, he said some probably, I've heard a lot of dumb, ignorant shit in my day. but this one's probably the worst. I think he's probably one of the dumbest, literally one of the dumbest human beings. Let's not forget that this is a guy who took a drill through his nutsack, then had to reverse it and put the drill back out of his. That's the level of stupid that we're talking about here. And I could probably go on for 10 minutes talking about how dumb Bryce Mitchell is. But guess what? Bryce Mitchell has a podcast.
I believe this was episode 1.
Okay, what a way to start.
Now, if any of you were interested in the drill story, here you go.
A week ago, I was on a 20-foot ladder, and I was holding up a board. My pockets were full. I was in a hurry, and I was looking for a place to put my drill. I didn't have anywhere to put it at the top of that ladder, so I put it in my pants, and which I do not recommend doing. I recommend getting a tool belt. And while I was holding that board up, the drill went off. It tangled up my testicle, my left one, and but initially, right when it went off, it was so painful. I thought that my dick was gone, so I was like really worried. And I mean, I was worried, but then I looked; it was still there, and my nut was all wrapped up. There was blood and semen leaking everywhere. What? And then I reversed the drill, and my left nut unwound. And I called my girlfriend because I thought I was going to pass out because all the blood. I was fine, but, just losing a lot of blood. So I called my girlfriend just in case I passed out on the way to the hospital, let her know.
Ilia Apturo Topturo. When Conor McGregor was asked how he felt about a fight against him and Ilia Topuria, this is what he had to say.
How do you think you would beat Ilia Apturo, Topturo? I grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap that little nose off him, yeah? Little ding-dong of a thing he is, yeah? I'm fucking Spanish. I'm in Marbella, bro, yeah?
Jiri Prochazka sus. After Jiri Prochazka's win over Jamal Hill at UFC 311, a reporter asked him how he was going to celebrate that night.
How do you celebrate a win? What does having fun look like for you?
You know, I took a crazy guy from my village to here to see this event, and they are here, and today I will bring them to my hotel and they will see something.
Okay, well listen, let's leave it at that.
You already went it. Let's go.
Don't fear me. After Paul Quintel's win, he tried to get the crowd to say his catchphrase, but it didn't come off very well.
I want to say one thing. See if I got some fans out here. You ready? Here we go. Don't fear me. Come on, baby. Hey, don't fear me. Fear the consequences, baby. I've been training hard. I'm not looking to call any.
Jiri Prochazka turning down a title fight because he has exams. Jiri Prochazka was offered to fight Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 317. However, he turned down this opportunity to focus on his exams. He is taking many subjects for his master's degree. I think this is actually quite wholesome, and no matter how badly I want to see Ankalaev versus Jiri, this actually makes me more of a fan of Jiri. Hand sanitizer boy. Paddy Pimblett is one of the most interesting prospects in the UFC right now, and him and Ilia Topuria have a lot of beef. It all started around 3 years ago when Paddy made fun of the Russia-Georgian war. This was very personal for Topuria when he has family members who died in the war. Then at UFC London, Aspinall vs. Volkov, Ilia and Paddy had an altercation which ended in Paddy throwing a hand sanitizer bottle at Ilia's head.
That's it. Well, I think I'm scared of you. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch.
And to add on to that, during press conference 282, they started going at it.
Has it been difficult being around Paddy backstage?
I haven't seen him, lad. I haven't seen him all week. The UFC have kept us apart.
When you see me coming,
because when I saw him last time, he got a hand sanitizer bottle bounced off his foot.
I don't understand you anything. Back in the flouty, mouthy, clouty, like what?
Hand sanitizer, boy!
Fuck you. Fucking mushroom. Yeah. You want to
No
talk
one
to
even
me
knows
like
you
a man
by
to
your
man?
name, lad. You're known as hand sanitizer, boy. You little
Shut
mongrel.
up.
You're a
Fucking
little
rat.
mongrel.
Shut up.
That's what you are. You're a little mongrel.
Shut up. If not, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to crush your face right here.
Do it then, you little
mushroom.
fart.
You have another question?
Do it. Do it then, you little pussy. What? Do it. Do it. Come on, do something then. Do something, stand up. What'll you do? You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing, you little fart. Go and sit back down. Sit back down, you little pussy. Puta.
Fucking pussy. Fuck you. Everything you touch.
You little mushroom. You little chorizo, you fucking Spanish sausage.
You fucking pussy.
All right. I don't know what the hell just happened here, but.
Jon Jones hiding under the cage. It's no secret that Jon Jones has always been on steroids. But what a lot of people don't know is the lengths he goes to hide it. A USADA drug tester showed up to Jon Jones's gym to drug test him, and instead of taking the test, he hid under the octagon for 8 hours. Jon Jones later confirmed this story. However, he said he was hiding because he was afraid he was going to get popped for weed, not steroids. The People Pay pay-per-view. The main event of UFC 248 was Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. An event on paper was going to be an absolutely amazing fight. However, this fight was one of the most boring fights in UFC history, with essentially nothing happening the entire time. In the post-fight interviews, Yoel Romero expressed his thoughts. Saturday night, we're gonna find out. Different fighters have different ways of trash talking. However, Max Holloway has his go-to line.
We get to find out Saturday night, man. I can't wait. We get to find out come Saturday night, my guy. Tune in. Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Exactly. We're gonna find out what I've been saying all week.
Max, find out Holloway. Find out all the time. We will find out. We will find out.
I noticed you didn't bring...
Volk uses the Force. During UFC 266, Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega, Volk used the Force to secure a win. Pantoja KO'd Islam. Islam Makhachev is pound for pound #1 and is currently on a 15-fight win streak. However, in 2015, back at UFC 192, he took his one and only loss by KO to Adriano Martins. People started to say that Pantoja KO'd Islam because he looks very similar to Adriano Martins. 45-70. Kevin Holland and Rampage Jackson were on a podcast together, and Kevin Holland kept on asking Rampage if he knows what a 45-70 is over and over again.
I don't have much of an ego.
Since we've been honest,
unless we're sitting across the table, we're both shooting 45-70s, we're trying to see who can hit the target. I don't have much of an ego.
Well, I'm just
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I'm just telling.
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I'm just telling my opinion. You gave your opinion about my temper tantrum.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you 100%.
Okay, it's an
But
opinion,
I'm just
right?
saying, like, if it's not a 45-70 that we're shooting across the room, trying to see who hits the target, I'm not worried about it. Do you know what a 45-70 is?
No, I don't.
Okay, then shut the fuck up.
You'll tell me shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Because
You don't understand what a 45-70 is.
He doesn't know what a
You're talking about ego. Now, I'm giving you some ego.
Okay.
Ego's when you don't understand what a 45-70 is.
Okay, so
that pisses me off.
That pisses you, because I don't know what a 45-70 is.
That fucks with my ego a little bit. What type of man are you don't know what a 45-70 is?
Because I don't know what a 45-70 is.
Yeah, that's kind of retarded.
It's retarded.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know what a 45-70 is.
Yeah.
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I would assume that it's an AR, some sort of rifle.
I assume that it's some type of gun, but do I know what a 45-70 is?
No, you should know what a 45-70 is.
What is it, Kevin? Tell
You're
us
a
what
big
it
guy.
is.
You should know what a 45-70
Why
is.
should I know what a 45-70 is?
It's a little bit smaller than a 50 cal.
It's a little bit smaller than a 50 cal?
I mean, probably a lot smaller than a 50 cal.
Kevin,
you don't know that I don't.
You shoot guns?
Sometimes.
Well, and you like to shoot ARs, handguns. What do you shoot?
I like the 45-70.
Yeah.
We can see that.
Yes, we've heard the 45-70.
45-70.
If you were...
He was very persistent on this topic, and it looked like he was trying to start some sort of beef with Rampage. And this clip just shows Kevin Holland having a pretty big ego. all about that cake. Two-weight division champion Daniel Cormier partnered with Popeyes and made an advertisement for them around 10 years ago.
If you're a foodie, just raise them up, cause every inch of me is perfect from the bottom to the top. Yeah, my mama, she told me don't worry about your size. So she kept feeding me Popeye's chicken, those legs and thighs. You know I won't be no stick figure lightweight, you know that's wrong. So just slide me that funfetti icing and move along.
This video is memed because it's obviously very silly and just a funny commercial. Tony throwing sand. At UFC 249, Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. Tony Ferguson could be seen throwing sand at Gaethje as a strategy. He did this to potentially set up an uppercut, and this did work. He had a major uppercut in the second round.
Come on.
Jon Jones zesty moments. Jon Jones is the consensus greatest UFC fighter of all time, but Jon Jones has many.
You know, you saw already. You were crying on Cain Velasquez's shoulder. So
Well, I'm gonna prove to you.
you know what? Actually, you know what? I don't want to be a commentator. I just want to make you cry backstage again.
You just want to beat me as I want to beat you, but I'm still gonna be a commentator to make more money.
I want to beat you.
Yeah, you want to. You won't do it again.
I already beat you.
But you're not gonna beat me on Saturday night.
Where are you from? Long Island.
No, honestly though, like all jokes aside, you guys have been amazing. So healing and just.
Thank you. I can promise we'll all, everybody here will give you a hug on your way.
I'm more like the type to put my finger in your butthole.
Wait, what? Whoa. Hold on.
I'll put my finger in your butthole.
We just missed some very important. You're talking about finger in your balls?
Finger in the butthole.
Oh, finger in the
A whole
butthole.
black finger in the butthole.
Is that how they do it in Rochester?
That's how they get down. That's the way we say I love you.
Oh, it's the way you say I love you in Rochester? Potential in this dude.
Is your butthole tight or what?
Well, he wants to touch your Mike. Go, bro. Mike goes into your butthole. That's what you don't understand. You ready to give up your butthole?
God damn it. And that's my answer.
That's your answer?
Can I get a call?
Взял свою команду Джонса.
Все, он моя команда, my team, as global.
Your wife is in my DMs. At UFC 264, Dustin Poirier took on Conor McGregor, where McGregor would break his leg in the very first round. After his loss, this is what McGregor had to say. Anthony Smith on paper. Anthony Smith is certainly a UFC fighter. He was in the game for a long time and was a legend. He is considered a pretty mediocre fighter, but in some of his clips, he seems a little bit too confident about his skills. A lot of the things he says are very delusional, and it's even an ongoing meme that in every Anthony Smith fight, he ends up in the fetal position.
In the John fight. I just didn't show up, and Jon Jones is beatable. He's not that good.
Wait, plus 350. Bet online, man. Underdog.
Plus 350? Yeah. Go get your money. Dude, that's crazy.
Whoa.
That's criminal.
Yeah.
God damn.
If you didn't need any more motivation.
Plus 350. That is crazy. If I was fighting goddamn Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou at the same time, I shouldn't be a fucking plus 350. That's crazy.
And this just led to more memes about, on paper, how Anthony Smith is the GOAT of the sport. Anthony Smith would beat anybody on paper. That's all the memes for part 2, but be sure to comment any more memes you have if you want to be featured in part 3, because you know damn well what part 3 is coming out. There's still a significant amount of memes I haven't covered, so if you guys really like this, then hey, just let me know, and I'll make a bunch more episodes for you. But my channel is called Lifters MMA, so if you guys like lifting and MMA, then this is definitely the place for you. A lot of work went into this, so I hope you guys like it, and that's really it. Thank you for watching. Peace.
I'm going to talk to you in a while. I got to tell you a new joke that's going around. All right, What is 6 feet tall
What is 6 feet tall dashing and disappears in an instant?
What? Oh, he froze right at the punchline. He froze at the punchline. That's fucking brutal.